There's a seminal character in Western esotericism whose impact is not mirrored by the meager amount of research that has been done on him. An occultist who helped magicians and witches understand the importance of symbolism and the mysticism underlying every magical endeavor. He is best known for his involvement in the creation of the Rider-Waite Tarot Deck. Welcome to an episode on A.E.Waite's biography. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Angela Puca and welcome to my Symposium. I'm a PhD and a university lecturer, and this is your online resource for the academic study of magic, esotericism, and all things occult. Today's episode is brought to you by Regulus, a kind friend and supporter of the Symposium who commissioned this video. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, and I truly hope that you enjoy it. Before diving into Waite's biography, I have to premise that A.E.Waite is understudied in academia, and there is hardly any scholarly material on his life and work. Hopefully in the future we will get a better understanding of his character thanks to more academic studies on the topic. For this video I will have to rely on primary sources and on the works by the biographer of Waite, Robert Gilbert, often cited in academic scholarship when Waite is, alas, only briefly mentioned. Waite's life was rather eventful, and so I'm going to limit the discussion by focusing on the moments in his life which seemed to have been the most impactful on his esoteric journey. Interestingly, Waite wrote about his biographical events himself, yet not quite accurately, as Gilbert will argue. A.E.Waite was a prolific author and translator of occult texts. He published numerous books on various esoteric topics, as well as his own poetic endeavors. Waite himself looked upon his studies of the occult, or of the secret tradition, as he preferred to call it, as of subsidiary importance to his poetry from a literary point of view. He thought of himself, after all, as the exponent in poetical and prose writings of sacramental religion and the higher mysticism. He was never recognized as a scholar by the academic world, but he still attempted to be a comprehensive analyst of the history of occultism in all its many branches. Even sympathetic scholars, such as Gershom Scholem, who mentioned Waite in his The Secret Doctrine in Israel as knowledgeable and insightful on topics like Kabbalah, then goes on to add that it is regrettable that this knowledge comes with an uncritical attitude towards facts of history and philology. Moving on to his biography, A.E.Waite was born in Brooklyn, New York, on the 2nd of October in 1857 and died in London on the 19th of May in 1942. His father was a captain in the American Merchant Marine and died at sea, while his mother was the daughter of a wealthy London merchant involved in the East India trade. She returned to England shortly after her partner's death with the 2-year-old Arthur and his infant sister Frederica. Both were illegitimate children, for their parents were never married. This was quite a controversial situation to be in at the time, and led mother and children to live in poverty and rejected by their family. This rejection seems to have prompted the conversion of Waite's mother to the Roman Catholic Church. His sister's death in 1874 was a painful turning point for Waite, as he began taking part in seances, which will reveal to be his getaway to the world of the occult. Indeed, Waite left aside Catholicism and committed himself to spiritualism first, and the theosophical thought along with Martinism shortly after. Interestingly, he never truly abandoned Christianity, which will remain extremely influential, especially in its mystical, non-dogmatic interpretations in his esoteric life. Waite entered the outer order of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in January 1891, introduced by E.W. Berridge. The Golden Dawn was a secret society of would-be magicians founded in 1887 by Westcott, Woodman, and MacGregor Mathers, and was based on manuscript rituals written in cipher. Waite's first encounter with the order was short-lived, as in 1893 he withdrew from the Golden Dawn, to then join again in 1896. Waite stayed much longer this time, and progressed within the order, until his definite departure in 1914. Waite, however, was not exclusively a member of the Golden Dawn, as his multifaceted interest in the occult led him to seek involvement with other traditions and orders. In 1901, he became a Freemason and later joined the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia in 1902. Shortly after, Waite established his own order, the Independent and Rectified Order RR at AC, in 1903. This was an esoteric order that only survived for 11 years. In 1915, he then founded the Fellowship of the Rosy Cross, inspired yet not to be mistaken for the Societas Rosicruciana, which was one of the few groups that were formed as a result of the internal feuds that emerged within the Golden Dawn and led to its progressive downfall. And they say that the modern magic community is litigious. Even in the early 20th century, the internal fights were pretty brutal. Notable is the relationship between Waite and Aleister Crowley. The two were proper frenemies. Well, that was the case on Crowley's side, who harbored a mixture of admiration and spite towards Waite. The latter seemed quite unfazed by Crowley's remarks. You can tell what Crowley's view of Waite was by reading what he wrote to a friend in 1945. He first says, "If it had not been for Waite, I doubt if, humanly speaking, I should ever have got in touch with Great Order." Nice, huh? Hear the rest. Waite certainly did start a revival of interest in alchemy, magic, mysticism, and all the rest. That his scholarship was so contemptible, his style so overloaded, and his egomania so outrageous, does not kill to the point of extinction the worth of his contribution. Thanks, I guess. On other occasions, Crowley heaped venomous personal attacks on Waite. He indeed turned Waite into a character in his novel Moonchild, and called him Edwin Arthwaite, a character that he described as a dull and inaccurate pedant without imagination or real magical perception. Wow! If that's not love, I don't know what is it. Crowley's view may have been inspired by Waite being more interested in mysticism than he ever was in the kind of magic deployed to alter mundane circumstances or to institutional religions. For Waite, it was all about knowing and experiencing the arcane and the symbolic nature of our existence, to ultimately achieve the divine union, the reunion of ourself with the divine source that lies as a spark within each human being. In fact, his biographer described our Arthur Edward Waite as someone who saw what others before him had not seen, that there can be no final understanding of mystical experience without an appreciation of the traditions outside the confines of the church that preserved those practices that bring mystical experience within the reach of every man and woman. Lastly, I am only going to briefly mention his involvement in the creation of one of the most known and used tarot decks today, first published as Rider-Waite Tarot Deck in 1910, and illustrated by the artist and member of the Golden Dawn, Pamela Colman Smith. This topic is so luscious that I'm going to dedicate an entire video to it. So stay tuned for that one. And what do you think? Any thoughts on the topic? Let me know in the comments. I'm eager to know. Thank you again, Regulus, for sponsoring and commissioning this video. And as for you, my kind viewer, if you like my content and want me to keep the academic fun going, please consider supporting my work with a one-off PayPal donation by joining memberships or my inner symposium on Patreon, where you will get access to our Discord server, a book club, and lots of other perks depending on your chosen tier. And if you did like this video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and activate the notification bell, because YouTube is naughty and might not let you know when there's a new upload from me. Thank you so much for being here, and stay tuned for all the academic fun. Bye for now.